Welcome to Jon Jon Radio, RiVA City's #1 radio show, now on radio. Here I have my co-host, my co-pilot, Coach.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Jon Jon Radio.
Now, our next guest, special guest, a lot of you already know him, one of the leading tastemakers. I don't like the word promoter, so I'm going to say tastemaker in RiVA City, Richmond, Brandon Robenson. So, who is Brandon Robenson?
So basically, I'm the owner of Climatic Nation. Been doing this for a long, long time.
Long time.
Man, since I was 17.
Since 17?
Been on the game, man. Been doing it.
Are you by yourself?
No, we're working with my man Juan Pierce ever since I started. Kind of got tired of how
Shout out to
ours
Juan.
was done, so we had to change it up.
Okay. So, why do you do what you do?
Personally, on my end, I like to coordinate events. Juan's more the entertainer. I'm the coordinator. I like having everything organized and things like that, so it really entices the experience. That's my biggest part.
So before the club or the event, what are you doing?
I'm the person that basically take care of account management, making sure we're talking to the special guests that we might have. We have
Jon Jon Radio.
Taking care of them, everything we need to do. If we have an organization at a school, taking care of that. If we have to do paperwork, that's all I'm taking care of.
Okay.
So you're the man who makes sure that everything's straightened out.
Yeah, making sure everybody have a good time, because at the end of the day, it is a party.
And you're not just like, it's not just a party, like you want to create like an atmosphere, right?
Right. Really what everybody talks about is it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
No matter what you're going throughout the week, once you get to us, your lifestyle change.
That's true.
It's grade A. Grade A for everything that you're doing. It's taking a stress reliever. Sometimes people look at it like, hey, this might be the highlight of their week.
So, like, sometimes a party could be great. Like you said, it could be memorable, but sometimes it could flop. Like, what's the difference between, like, a great party and a whack party? Like, what elements go into making a party great?
Before you answer that, is it based on attendance? Not your party, because they're always packed, but I've been to some events where it hasn't always been a great turnout, but I've had a good time.
Every part of the party plays an essential role. For instance, like he says, if we have 1,000 people in our venue,
1,000 people,
and ain't nobody moving, it's a whack party.
Mm-hmm.
Right. However, that's when you got your DJs, your disc jockeys, you got your MCs, which Juan is great at also. It takes a lot for that to take it to the next level. Because just the bodies in the building, you got to think, when you're in line at a restaurant, there's bodies in the building, but that ain't a party.
Yeah.
So you got to bring something to the table that allows it to become that party feel. At our parties, for sure, people like to dance.
That's true.
Our people, drinking, that's always cool and things like that, but we always want to make sure our people dancing, and something that's different that we do is we actually go dance with the people. So, and make them have a good time, interact throughout the party, so that it's not just, hey,
make us feel welcome.
Exactly. So we're not just having y'all come in and we just taking, for instance, charging you and whatnot.
Yeah.
We actually interact and talking to you.
There's no like holier than thou attitude where y'all just in VIP looking down at everybody partying. Y'all party with us.
Right, because the thing that's different about us is all of our guests at some point in time get a section. All of our people, they end up going to DC, they fly out to Las Vegas, they go to Miami. So really, once they're in the party together, you ain't showing out, but really for yourself, because everybody's on the same playing field at our parties at least.
So you spoke about Las Vegas. Tell us about that.
Well, really, for instance, like today, I'm sorry, by the way, couldn't do it. Jacob York from Atlanta, we were supposed to be on the Diddy party today.
Okay.
But couldn't go out. So, Las Vegas is always, Maypac. So that joke's always crazy. But we get booked for stuff like that because our people, they like to travel.
Yeah.
CIAA every year we're booked.
CIs.
Yeah. Howard Homecoming every year we're booked. They got this thing called Orange Fest out in Atlanta.
Orange Fest?
Yeah, they changed it's the new Freaknik. So I don't know how Orange Fest and Freaknik go together, but we got booked for that as well. Then all like, for instance, like 4 to 5 weeks of spring break in Florida.
Yeah.
So we get booked for that just because our people like to travel. Because the problem with Virginia is people don't really like to stay here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So they like to travel, so they book us for different events like that.
So when school is in, is there a difference in attendance summertime or spring break or?
No, not really, because people don't understand, like, when one group is here for school, another group is coming in once school's over.
Mhm.
So for instance, like people from Norfolk State, ODU, CNU, we go to the outside schools. So I even have people come to my parties from American, Georgetown, Mary Washington, my alumni, by the way. But
Shout out to Mary Washington.
we make sure that we go after everybody,
Right,
because
right.
we like to have diverse parties also. That's what gets us a lot of the deals at the different venues that we go to, is because we are able to bring that diverse crowd with no problems and things.
What's your passion about weddings?
Me personally, same thing. It's coordinating it,
Are you getting close?
Yeah, I am.
Getting close?
I am getting close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I put you on the spot.
Yeah, I am getting close. Somebody here is actually, the person I'm getting married to, so we're
Okay.
getting close, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
Cheesing.
Shout out to you.
So for somebody who's trying to be like you, trying to get in the game, what advice would you give to an up and comer?
It's really about patience. One thing about being an entrepreneur is you just have to, it's really about the right time.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't feel comfortable saying it's luck, but really it is.
For real?
Because
Why
if
you
you
say
work
that?
hard for something, it might not always happen. For instance, let me use Juan as an example. My business partner, he'd been doing this before I was.
So
But-
did he bring you into the game or?
Exactly, and it was just the right time, and then we were able to take off from there. Because even though he was doing it before I was, he had plateaued for a little bit.
Mhm.
But then when we were able to put our minds together, it was able to do exactly what it was supposed to do. I was the event planner, he was the entertainer. We were able to take off from there, and we just been looking back ever since.
But saying that it takes patience, it's easier to say that than it actually is to actually do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you say, boom, my first day, I want to get a venue. If I'm wrong, correct me. Give me the steps. I want to get a venue, security, DJ, party promoters, flyers.
Right.
That's the right step, or
Nah.
should I go out? You said no. So should I go out and spend like $1 million on a venue, or what?
See, really, the steps is honestly,
It don't give it all away.
yeah,
but-
I mean, to be honest with you, it's the same formula. We're not reinventing the wheel as far as the foundation.
You have a mentor?
I do.
You wanna plug him, or?
My mentor is Face J, by the way.
Okay.
He is
Shout
my
out Face J.
mentor, You know what I mean? He's been doing this for a while in Jacob York.
Mhm.
As far as doing an event, putting the pieces together, it's really about timing. Like I said, for instance, it depends on what kind of crowd you're going after. If you're going after a college crowd, kind of got to be in college, or you got to need to know them. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
If you're going after a 21 and up crowd and you 18, it ain't gonna happen.
Mhm.
So really, it's about the timing with that. And then also, what keeps kind of the wheel going is it ain't cheap doing this. You know what I mean? I know, for instance, for 3 straight years, we had a $5,000 budget at Mirage.
Really? Yo, I remember Rob.
Yeah.
Had some good times, didn't you?
I still got you on my birthday video, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, the first thing is making sure you got that money,
Mhm.
because a club owner ain't gonna talk to you unless you have that money,
Do you
and
need a
it's gonna
bond?
be up front. To get the venue, no.
Okay.
The club owner just want to see that money first,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, if you got 0 people in your building and he's still getting paid, he don't really care.
Mhm.
But as far as your brand goes, you need some people in your building.
Mhm.
A lot of people, they try to figure out the two, because having a packed party don't always mean you got money.
No.
Especially the way that it is nowadays, where everything's free till 11.
Right.
So, is it really free to 11, or are the lines being held? No. Don't give it away. But is it really free to 11, or?
To be honest with you, I know personally, when I first started, I ain't gonna lie to you, it was free till 11.
Or like 10:30?
It was free till 11,
Uh-huh.
but it's a science to it.
Okay.
It's really about like who you have coming to your party. Like I explained before. For instance, I know if I got Jon Jon coming to my party and I say free before 11, Jon Jon ain't got a problem going through the VIP line. So that free till 11 line kind of got to get held up.
Mhm.
But that's what people don't understand. It isn't a matter of me wanting to hold it. It's just a matter of if somebody's paying, there's only one entrance. For Mirage, we were able to do something really different where we had 2 entrances.
I remember.
We had a 21 and up entrance and an 18 and up entrance. So that kind of helped with the situation. But as far as free to 11 and people holding lines and things like that, I personally don't believe that people are doing that. I feel like it's just people paying for the VIP line, and people kind of don't understand.
And of course, Climate Nation doesn't do that.
Exactly, not at all.
Speaking about Mirage, Slay's gonna kill me if I don't say this.
Shout out to Slay.
Shout out to Slay because he been bugging me, y'all. Craziest party, Plug Alpha Ball, Slay.
Yes,
How was that?
I will say that.
Because when I saw you, the first thing you said was they still talking about the Alpha Ball.
That was at the Clarion, though.
The Clarion.
The Clarion one was the craziest.
Yeah, the Clarion.
The Clarion one was by far the craziest thing.
A lot of work went into it.
The crazy thing about that is that my fiance now was the one that got us the business. It was crazy about the
Special
Clarion.
night.
Yeah, it was a very special night. The reason why that party was so far above other parties that have been thrown is, normally you have a dress-up party. I mean, I hate to, let's just say the Toast Place Massacre. You know what I mean? You have a dressed-up party, but people throwing bottles, they're going crazy. Whereas we were actually able to throw this event at this hotel with no issues.
And that was a great
whatsoever.
thing because it shined a lot of light on the Gamma chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I thank you for the partnership.
No problem.
And I still got videos like you got videos.
Every year, we kind of throw this mansion party. It's not something like a club where it'd be 1,000 people.
Yeah.
It's really about 250 people.
A lot
But,
more intimate
Yeah, it's literally, you have to know me or Juan
to
to
get
get
in.
in. And it's a matter of, you can't just text us because you know somebody to get our number.
Right.
We have a cutoff date to where you have to have your number saved in our phone. Personally, if you saved in my phone as Mansion on Friday, you still good. Or if you saved in my phone as, potentially Kai on Saturday, you're still good. As long as you saved in my phone. If your number's not saved, you can't get in.
I like that though, because it creates like this aura of mystique about the
Right.
mansion party.
And, it's all about safety out there. A lot of people, when they go to beach weekend, it's a lot of craziness.
We promote safety.
Yeah, it's a lot of craziness. And, personally, with me, you got to have something that you're able to put on paper. At the end of the day, when you look for sponsorships, when you look for celebrities to come, they really look about the safety of themselves, with your event. So it's really something.
You don't want to be like Plies getting suplex off the stage.
Exactly. Could never happen. Like, that could never happen. Like, you would be, personally, I feel like as a promoter, you would be finished at that point. So a celebrity can't come back and feel comfortable in that situation.
So speaking of being a promoter, what would you say the toughest thing is?
Making people realize that it's a business, but not really explaining the business to them.
I'm sure you have friends who always want to attend.
Yes.
How does that work?
Personally, like with me being the coordinator, it's terrible because I'm always I'm
You're
always
always
the
the
first
plug?
person
Yeah.
they see. So, for instance, with Juan, in this case, Juan will be inside hosting.
Juan wish he could be here.
Yeah, so I'm the person that's literally at the door, like the gatekeeper. So it's kind of like, hey, I went to high school with you. Or, even, sometimes it'd be like, hey, look, you talked to me about this party in the mall. So it's kind of tough to have them realize, hey, look, even though that is the case, it's a business. Sometimes I got to explain to them, like, literally, hey, if I came to where you work at during the day, you going to give me something for free?
Probably not.
No, every time the answer is no. So
the answer's always no.
That's the hardest part.
Looking out for self.
Don't look at promoters in a bad light, like you said.
Yo,
That's all I'm saying.
I hate the word promoter. I know I dropped it a couple times, but I like event planner, tastemaker, organizer, social king.
Yeah. All that's fine, but on paper it's still a promoter.
Still a promoter.
You got, first, like I said, me, I can cross over between event coordinator and promoter.
So what's the difference?
As far as promoter goes, it's really a marketing director.
Okay.
But still, as
So
far
can
as
we say marketing director?
you
Yeah,
can,
that sounds real
but
nice.
it depends on what you're doing. When it's a party, when it has something to do with liquor, it's a promoter.
Okay.
When it's doing something, for instance, like, leasing of apartments, things like that, marketing director. When you get to the point of doing concerts, you're really a marketing director, but they like the form of a promoter. Yeah. As far as event coordinator goes, on my end, it goes into playing the fence of catering, event coordinating, and event management.
How many phones do you have?
I I have one phone with 17,000 contacts.
God.
I'm trying to change it because my
17,000?
phone, yeah, it froze on me yesterday. I'm trying to change it.
What kind of phone you got?
I got a T-Mobile iPhone 6.
iPhone 6. Wow.
Yeah.
17,000.
Oh, shout out to M Easy, by the way. Got me the T-Mobile. He got me over there.
M Easy?
Yeah.
M Easy. Jon Jon Radio. First got into promoting or being a marketing director. What were some of your challenges?
My biggest challenge was when I started, I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think at that age, being in the city, and I was ranked 125 in the country for basketball.
Really?
Yeah, so I knew everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there wasn't a person I didn't know. So at that point, it was a matter of, do I want to do this or play basketball? Because, technically you weren't supposed to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
But, my mindset of being an entrepreneur, I wanted to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a really struggling thing for me at first. But like I said, it's just always the problem when you're doing events of the breakup of business and friendship, you know what I mean? Or business and associates. Because people don't look at a party as a business at all. They look, they just don't look at it that way.
We're here to have fun.
Yeah, and then the big problem with Virginia is, in DC, if I know 100 people that want to come to a party for a day, I get a bar percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can all go for free. We just having a night out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the difference.
I like free.
Yeah, when you in Virginia, you can't do all that.
So that's why the promoters charge the cover.
Exactly, yeah. In DC, you got open bar till 11.
Yeah.
You got everybody free all night. They promoted a joint in DC today, Mark Spade and them, the biggest free Maypac fight party.
Really?
Completely free. And your drinks is free till 11. But you can do that in DC.
Jon Jon, why are we here?
Well, yeah, we gotta go. So is there anything you want to share with the people?
One last thing that I want to share with the people is when it comes to events, especially in Virginia, I want them to know the difference between something that the promoter's doing and something that, the city's doing.
Meaning?
I don't want them to be frustrated with it. Obviously, I don't want them to be like, oh, man, these persons is messing up our parties. It's all about safety. But, a lot of times people look at us and they get mad at us about the fire marshal. They even get mad at us about, sometimes the police check.
But it's not your fault.
Yeah, it's not the promoter's fault. And I want them to understand that it really ain't their fault for doing their job either.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one of the biggest things where, Mirage, we used to have
I remember.
1,500 people.
I remember.
Fire marshal come in there, he would literally count the spots in the parking lot, and he'd be like, one in, one out. That's
serious?
one of the things that's one of the things that people hate is when they hear one in, one out. But it's really a safety thing, because let's just say, all these venues, they think they're going to last forever. Let's say fire marshal or fire breakout. You got to be able to get out the building somehow, and it's only 2 exits.
Mm-hmm.
So, at that point, you got to realize, hey, they're doing this for your safety. They're doing this so that you realize, hey, look, we're actually here to make sure that you're having a good time, and not worrying about any of the, natural causes or anything like that. So,
You make a great point. Now, we've known each other for quite some time.
yeah.
What's changed about Richmond nightlife, night scene?
To be honest with you, it's crazy because upscale parties,
Or not really upscale.
yeah, they've got worn out. They've got worn out. So let's say the Alpha Ball. We used to throw an Alpha Ball now. People will want to come to the Alpha Ball with shoes on because they're so tired of hearing upscale.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, Jon Jon, though, our dress code used to be heels, dress, and skirt.
We would look forward to dressing.
Yeah. So females would literally nowadays, they'd be like, hey, we just want to wear heels. Can we wear, jeans? Or, can we wear, something else? Like, the biggest thing now is like leggings and stuff like that. Guys, they'd be like, hey, we got this, nice V-neck shirt we want to wear. That you couldn't get in with that before. But nowadays, that is so oversaturated that you have to kind of, change up your dress code. So now, literally nowadays, it's collar shirt, that's the only thing for guys, and heels for girls. Dress code is the biggest change.
Nobody wants to try anymore.
Yeah, not at all.
Well, Mr. Brandon Robenson, one half of Climatic Nation.
Yep.
Shout out Juan.
Oh yeah, shout out Juan Pierce.
Should have been here.
I know you handling the pre-fight party at Kyle right now, but shout out Juan Pierce.
So what's going on in the city? What y'all got to do?
right now, you know, we handling the COD pregame, you know, just literally having everybody from every single party that they want to go to from 10 to 2.
Mhm.
You know, we once again thinking outside of the box. And we're like, hey, why don't you pregame over here?
Mhm.
You know, it's Virginia State, you know, graduation weekend.
Shout out to
all
Virginia State.
them. Yeah, so we making sure we taking care of all them this weekend.
Mhm.
People got to understand we got personal lives too.
Mhm.
You know, some promoters, they work for the government. You know, some promoters like myself, we do event coordinating throughout the day.
Mhm.
You know, so we don't hang out like at all. You hang out with your team,
Uh-huh.
but other than that, you don't really hang with other promotional groups like that.
Okay. So what's going on in the city that you want to let us know about?
Coming up wise, it's kind of mellowed out, you know,
Mhm.
over the summertime, but you know, we got Vanquish on Fridays.
Vanquish on
dropping
Fridays.
May 15th.
Okay.
The first to know about that, by the way.
Jon Jon, say it again.
The
Jon
first
Jon
to know
Radio.
about that. Nobody else knows. Vanquish on Friday starting May 15th.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yes, sir.
We'll be there.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brandon Robenson, my brother. I appreciate all the love. Jon Jon Radio. We tuning out.
No doubt, man. Appreciate it.